up, you're in trouble. Now, here's what you have to have, okay? I saw an article last week or 2 weeks ago that said 10 reasons to consider, well, I'm paraphrasing, to consider before giving up on your dream. I love the way that's phrased. I'm not trying to talk you out of giving up on your dream. Just think of these 10 things first and see if they change your path at all. Not, don't give up on your dream. You can do it. Okay, I do like motivational speakers. We might hear a little bit from Les Brown tonight. But I also think that people don't need to be ordered around. Okay? I have a hard time saying to you, okay, you want to kill yourself? Go ahead and do it. That doesn't feel right to me. Because I think if you just give it sometimes 48 hours to just say, I can't trust my thoughts right now, you might have a different attitude. My thing would be, this is going to sound highly irresponsible. If you've gone to the doctor and you've done everything you can to try to get help, and you're feeling that blue, like you really want to check out of this world, give it 90 days. I'm dead serious. Now, if the doctors have given you antidepressants, therapy, you've tried all the tricks that you could possibly learn, your family loves you, or you've at least established contact with loved ones, if not found new friends if you need to, you have some personal relationships, you're doing everything right, and you just still feel like you've got to go, and you feel it down at the soul level, you know what I'm talking about, then I would say, what else can I do? I mean, maybe if you hang around, we'll come up with a new therapy. But at that point, I would say, okay, trust yourself. If you feel like that's the only way out, that's what my second psych professor in college, my freshman year, second half, he said about suicide, he said, some people just need to go like that. Some people just need to go that way. That's pretty harsh. And I never really thought about it much after that. But I mean, I've been in some low fucking spots, people. It doesn't matter how well you're doing. Happiness is affected by a million different things. You can't just have the money and the career and the toys and the vacations. You can't just have serving at the soup kitchen or a brand new book that you're interested in. You can't just have successful children and a happy spouse and a reasonably healthy childhood memory. You can't just have participation in some intramural sports or success in your metal detecting hobby. You have to have something that makes you happy. And that can be incredibly complex. Now, what they have found looking at depression is that the lowest per capita depression count was in something like one of those isolated civilizations, Papua New Guinea, or one of these tribal areas where the people lived out in the fucking cold in these huts. They were constantly racked with stomach viruses and fucking beriberi and scary, all this shit. And they were the happiest people. And they did this not just by talking to them, but by measuring things that you can measure, that from brain scanning to chemical counts. And you can find if people are emitting stress hormones. And you can look at the areas in the brain that, for example, the hippocampus and the amygdala, which will typically shrink up to 30% in a patient that's severely depressed. And they will grow back when that person has come out of that depression. These are real things you can measure, not just talking to somebody. And here they were, out there, in the middle of nowhere. Didn't even have a religion. Didn't have real houses. Any bug could get into any of these houses they had. Had to go hunt for their food. They spent roughly 4 to 5 hours a day hunting and gathering. But you know what I think they had that nobody talks about? They don't really come to any conclusions about this. They just find it fascinating. Well, fascinating isn't enough for me. I'd like to get some answers. I think I know what made those people so happy. They studied something like 430 people, and one of them may have been depressed. One of them. That's a fucking good percentage, okay? I think what really had those people happy at the soul level is that they were needed, and they knew it. And I don't think that you could show me a severely depressed person who's not out of control because of chemicals or brain structure problems. I mean, and it's really just stressors, who feels needed and they know it and they're still depressed. Because you can listen to it in any number of movies. You can read about it in any number of books. What are people saying? Nobody loves me. Nobody needs me. I'm not wanted. I'm just a burden, they think. Well, I don't like that. And I think most suicides could be prevented with someone listening. I was watching a TED Talk about a police officer out in California, Golden Gate Bridge, where he worked. He stopped a few suicides, seen a couple he failed in stopping. He talked about them. And you should probably check that TED Talk out if you're interested in it. He had one guy, this black guy, was getting ready to kill himself. And I think he intervened in like 24 attempts and 2 actually jumped. And this was his last one. I think he retired after this one. It was this black guy. He's like, I'm going to jump. You can't stop me. And these cops can't. Once you're out there on that outer, I think they call it a cord. I think that's what they call it. It's the little outer part you stand on. Nobody can get to you there, but you can climb back over, because they know if they try to rush and get you, you're going to jump. So all the cops can do is go and talk and say, listen, what can I do to help? Just talk to me for a little while, and we'll see if things are as bad as you think they are, whatever. Well, the cop decided to listen. And this guy talked for like 45 minutes. Okay, he ended up not committing suicide. He did come back over and got help, and he's doing well today. But what the cop did that was different from most of these suicide negotiators was he listened. And he told him up front, you know what? I'm just going to listen to you. I want you to tell me what's wrong in your life right now. And he didn't interrupt the dude. He listened for like 45 minutes. Might have confirmed something that he said once or twice. Maybe agreed with something once or twice. He wasn't offering advice or trying to push this deterrent at what would have been a suicide victim. You got to do this. You got to think about that. This is why you got to live. You need to come out. You're breaking the law. If you do this, you're going to traumatize everybody in your family. No. He's just listening to the guy and actually listening. Not just giving him ear service, if you will, but listening. People can tell when you're listening. You know that? Oh, they can tell. If you think you can fake listening, I'm going to save you a lot of heartache right now. Don't think you can just nod and shit in person with people and fool them into believing you're listening. There are 500,000 body signs and signals you give off in your body language that will confirm whether or not you're listening to somebody. And if you're not listening to somebody, they're only going to think one thing, regardless of whether how accurate it is or not. They're going to think you don't give a shit about what they have to say. So write that down in your notebook. I don't know why we're talking about this. I had been looking at some motivational stuff because I was trying to get myself geared up again for the book I'm working on, which I've stalled on because I'm in a weird spot where I'm trying to gather up a lot of facts, and it's getting almost too much like solving a crime, very factual, rather than allowing me to break out into my fiction writing mode and have some fun with the art. So I'm at the hard part. It's the hard part. It is. And any novel, when you're getting your facts ready. And I can't cut loose yet, so it's sort of, I don't know, it's got me down. But I was looking for some motivation, and I started finding all these people talking about motivation, which led to, how YouTube is. Next thing I knew, I was at fucking antelopes and how you can get high off of licking the balls of a giraffe, which I didn't know. I mean, you learn stuff, which is not true. I just made that up, but that's how we do. So I came across some stuff about suicide and depression, and I am definitely a person who understands depression at every level, and I understand that sometimes it is entirely outside of your control. Sometimes you need to put it in the hands of doctors. I definitely believe that. But sometimes counseling can do it. Sometimes a kind word can do it. Almost all the time, you're going to be improved by having somebody listen to you. Listen. Truly listen. That's hard to find these days, folks. If you can listen, truly listen to somebody, and not just wait your turn to talk, you are going to raise your stock immediately. You don't believe me? Try it out. One fucking day. People are talking to you, your boss, your coworker, your partner, your kid. Listen. Give them 5 fucking minutes and genuinely listen to them as if you're interested and watch the change. I promise you that's real shit right there. And everybody thinks they can get away with it, not doing it. Well, I'll pretend I'm listening, but I'm really going to be thinking about my bank account or what I'm going to do on Facebook later or, whatever. Oh, let's see. I don't know if anybody's in chat yet. I don't have all that shit up. God damn it, Rick. This is prime time. I'm not, I don't care about prime time. Fuck it. I'm doing prime time. Yeah, so this is what it is. What we're going to do here is I'm going to play a clip for you. I want you to we're talking about suicide. Now, this is called the suicide experiment, and I'm going to have to talk over this, so I got to monitor, because you won't know what's going on half the time. Now, I've already watched the clip. Basically, here's what happens. Two guys in separate cabs. They hide cameras, and they basically let the cab driver know they're ready to kill themselves. They've had enough. So I'm going to start playing it and see if you're okay. Just work with me here.
I'm Fusi.
I'm Roman.
And this is the suicide experiment.
Let me see if I'm coming through on this here. I gotta make sure I'm matched up with the volume, so give me some time.
Having a bad day, man.
It should be pretty close. Let me see.
How are you? I've had better days.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty close.
Every day is
All right, so they're
day.
stashing cameras here. They're both getting in
Every
separate
day's a
cabs.
better
You'll
day.
hear them.
Yeah. No, not today. Why not?
Yeah, I
I
think
got
it'll be
laid
about
off
even.
this morning.
Okay.
Boss said I wasn't pulling my weight for my job.
You have to work, to make money. You have to work to feed your family.
You got fired. Trust me, I know.
You got fired?
I know you got to work. I got fired, so.
My girlfriend says she wants to take a break from our relationship and to see other people.
You were divorced from your wife, first wife?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, now you are with your second wife?
Yeah, something like that. There's just things.
So these guys have to convince the cab drivers that they're suicidal,
Things used to be so good.
and they're both going to
And she
have the
did
cab
it
drivers
after my mom
stop
got
at a
in the
bridge.
hospital, so I already have so much stress. So everything's just so bad. I just can't deal with it anymore.
I actually got 2 kids.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my God. How old are they?
I have a 3-year-old and a
This is the
10-year-old.
Indian guy,
Feel that things will get better.
cab driver.
I believed in that once upon a time. And then bad things just started happening. And, maybe life just isn't for everybody. Maybe not everybody is cut out to be able to handle the problems that life throws at us.
So they're trying to set it up to
Nothing's
see if
going
the
the way
cab
I
drivers will try to prevent them
It's just,
from killing
I've
themselves.
really had enough.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Can you just, can you stop up here?
So he's telling them to stop at the bridge peak.
Yeah, stop right here, stop right here. Stop right here, please. Just stop right here. Look, listen, I want to thank you so much for talking to me. I want to thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it, okay? I really appreciate those words. That was really the best thing to hear before everything happened. Thank you, man.
Sir, it's $28.30, sir.
Okay, this is the other guy.
Here's 60
Oh,
for your family.
sir, that's
This
too
is the
much,
white
sir.
guy and the Indian cabbie.
And this is a note
Not
that I need you to give my family.
your family? Why do I have to give it to your family, sir?
What?
What are you going to do? What are you trying to do here?
I told you, life is hard. I can't handle it. I'm gonna
So
jump.
this is the Hispanic guy and the African
Why?
cab driver.
Life is hard. I can't. Life is rough for me. I don't want to live anymore.
You cannot do this to yourself
Why?
because you're young. You got the life to live.
My life is rough.
What about your mother? Do you not think she wants you to be here?
Sir,
I gotta do this.
don't jump, sir. Don't jump, sir.
I have to do this.
No, sir. Sir, you're gonna die, sir.
Come on, please. This isn't your job. This isn't your business.
No, sir.
This
sir,
has
please,
nothing to do
sir,
with you.
You are the
I have to do this. This is for me.
Yes, man, I have you ever seen, sir. Sir, you tell me $60 when the bill is only $28. Sir, sir, don't die, sir. We need good people like you, sir. Sir,
I'm not a
sir,
good
you have 2 boys, sir. 2-year-old boys, sir. They need you.
If you get out and jump off the bridge, then what? Huh? Your mother will be crying. Do you want your mother to cry?
I can't live this rough life anymore. Rough life.
What about your mother? Do you not think that?
Do you have a rough life? Do you know what it goes through?
I drive this cab every day, 25 years. Some days I make only $10. You talking about a rough life? This is a rough life.
Sir, please, sir, please, sir, please, sir. Sir, think about this, sir. Sir, I can live my life, you can live your life, sir. Sir, I came across from India all over across the world, sir, and I can make it